Getting a divorce in Nebraska is actually simpler than you might think. To qualify, one of the spouses must have been a resident of Nebraska for at least 1 year, or the marriage was performed in Nebraska and one of the spouses has lived in Nebraska for the entire marriage. The divorce may be filed in the county where either spouse resides. There is a 60-day waiting period after service of the petition for divorce before the case can proceed. Once the residency requirement is completed, a legal grounds for a divorce must be established. Both general and no-fault divorce are acceptable grounds for divorce. The no-fault reason is irretrievable breakdown of the marriage. The general reason is spouse lacked mental capacity to consent, including temporary incapacity resulting from drug or alcohol use. Nebraska requires a parenting plan for child custody. Joint or sole custody is determined as the best interest of the child, and the general health, welfare, and social behavior of the child, the preference of the child if the child is of sufficient age and capacity, the child's relationship with each parent prior to the filing for dissolution of marriage, and any credible evidence of child or spousal abuse. There is no preference based on a parent's sex. Joint custody may be awarded if agreed upon. Child support is determined by the earning capacity of each parent. Official Supreme Court child support guidelines and worksheets are available from the court clerk. Nebraska is an equitable distribution jurisdiction. Spouses retain their separate property acquired before the marriage. All marital property, including gifts and inheritances acquired during the marriage, may be divided based on the contribution of each spouse, including the care and education of the children, to the acquisition of the marital property, including the contribution of each spouse as homemaker. The economic circumstances of each spouse at the time the division of property is to become effective, the length of the marriage, any custodial provisions for the children, and any interruption of career or education of the spouse. Either spouse may be ordered to pay reasonable spousal support, regardless of marital fault, based on the circumstances of both spouses, the duration of the marriage, the contribution of each spouse to the marriage, including services rendered in homemaking, childcare, education, and career building of the other spouse, any interruption of personal careers or education, and the ability of the supported spouse to engage in gainful employment without interfering with the interests of any minor children in his or her custody. Reasonable security for the payments may be required. A divorce is not granted until all reasonable attempts at mediation are exhausted. If the court feels that there is a reasonable possibility of reconciliation, divorce actions may be transferred to a conciliation court, or the spouses may be referred to a qualified marriage counselor, family service agency, or other agency which provides conciliation services. Official conciliation counselors are available in counties with populations over 250,000 persons. Visit us today at www.mydivorcepapers.com and click on Nebraska at the bottom of the page. Let mydivorcepapers.com help you file for divorce today.